Hello, how are you today? This is Heena from Team TES, and I welcome you in my next video of MP set practice. Well, I hope you are listening to our videos, taking down the notes of the important questions, and doing your own research. Yes? If you will, believe me, it will help you abundantly in your set exam. Well, along with these question answers, we have other online quiz as well, and we have online paid courses by Kalyani ma'am. For any details, you can contact us on the number 93878 Let's begin today's questionnaire. 20 questions in all, a rapid fire, fast explanation, fast questions. Okay, let's begin with question number 1 on your screen. Quotation marks. Life is but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. The above words are uttered by a character in. Your options are A. King Lear, B. Othello, C. Macbeth, or D. Hamlet. It's a very famous line. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Of course, it is option C, Macbeth. These words were uttered by Macbeth only when his wife was dead and when the army was protesting, was marching against him. So he pessimistically says these lines that life is meaningless. It signifies nothing. Yeah? Let's move on. Question number 2. Around the time of the Norman Conquest, English vocabulary was enriched by. Your options are A. French language, B. Scandinavian, C. Spanish, or D. Hungarian. इसका आंसर वही है जिसकी लाठी उसकी भैंस. That means the answer is A, French. You know it. After the Norman conquest of 1066, the French overshadowed English. Yes. And then the language of the government, the language of the elite became Norman French, while the language of the peasantry was English. It was like that at that time. Let's move on to question number 3. 7 Types of Ambiguity of 1930 is written by. Your options are A. Northrop Frye, B. William Empson, C. William Wimsatt, or D. I.A. Richards. 7 Types of Ambiguity. Of course, it is written by option B, William Empson, the man on the screen. Well, he was the new critic or the practical critic of Cambridge. He lived from 1906 to 1984. And this is his most notable work, in which he says that the words or the references in poems are usually ambiguous, which means they have more than one or multiple meanings. Okay, let's move on. Question number 4. Match the authors with their works. The authors are, you can see, 1 is John Brewley, 2 is Benedict Anderson, 3 is Ernest Gellner, while 4th is Hans Kohn. And these are the works. I'll not read them. I'll tell them to you in the answer itself. What do you think? Who has written what? Too much nationalism? Are you confused? Don't be. I'll tell you the answer. It is A, and I'll make it easy with the book covers. Shall we do that? Come on, let's move. As you can see, John Brewley wrote Nationalism and the State. Benedict Anderson wrote Imagined Communities. Ernest Gellner wrote Nations and Nationalism, while Hans Kohn wrote The Idea of Nationalism. Book cover dekh ke to yaad ho gaya hoga, right? Good enough. Let's move on to question number 5. Who is the writer of Phantom Dwelling of 1985? Your options are A. Judith Wright, B. Rosemary Dobson, C. Jack Davis, or D. Dorothy Hewitt. Phantom Dwelling. You know it. It is option A, Judith Wright. Well, all of these were American writers, by the way. So Judith was the major American poet who actually fought for Aboriginal land rights also. And amongst the many poem collection that she has written, Phantom Dwelling is one such collection of poetry. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Question number 6. Dante has used dash in Divine Comedy. Your options are A. Limerick, B. Monorhyme, C. Terza rima, or D. Enclosed rhyme. What is there in Divine Comedy? You know it. It is option C, Terza Rima. Well, Divine Comedy, as you know, is an Italian narrative poem by Dante Alighieri, and it talks of death and afterlife. Now, the verse form that it uses is terza rima, which means every stanza is made up of 3 lines, and the rhyme scheme followed is A, B, A, B, C, B, C, D, C, and so on. हम भी so on आगे बढ़ जाते हैं to question number 7. The main objective of literary research is, listen to the options carefully. A, sharpening the critical insight of the researcher. B, advancement of knowledge. C, to create an intelligent interest in literature. Or D, all of the above. Obviously, it is option D, all of the above. Let's move on. Question number 8. Feminism has observed an evident connection between myth and women's social condition. What is that connection? A, myth has been indifferent to the discrimination faced by women at the hands of men. B, myth has lent support to women in fighting against the gender discrimination. C, change in myth has been the biggest support to women for changing their status in the society. Or D, myth has contributed in establishing social names that have helped men to dominate women. Of course, इसमें सबसे सही तो D लग रहा है ना? That is what myth has done. The answer is option D. It has contributed in establishing those social names by which men can easily dominate women. Why is God always used as God, masculine? Why are human beings considered as his and not her? No, 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 no. We have to remove such stereotypes to have equality in the society, right? That takes us to question number 9. Hilde Domin is the pseudonym of Hilde Palm. She was an important German language poet born in the year option A, 1909, B, 1920, C, 1923, or D, 1942. Hilde Domin was born in the year 1909. Look at that beautiful face. I'll tell you something about her. Obviously, ये exam में नहीं आएगा, लेकिन कुछ बातें तो share करनी चाहिए ना. From a 1986 interview, she was asked, what do you think, how much courage a writer needs? To which she replied that a writer needs 3 types of courage. Well, which ones are those? First, to be himself or herself. Second, to not lie and call things by their right names. And third, to believe in the open-mindedness of others. Isn't that beautiful thought? Yes, it is. Let's move on to question number 10. Which of the following is written in blank verse? Your options are A, The Flea by Donne, B, All for Love by Dryden, C, Ode to the West Wind by Shelley, or D, Sonnet 29 by Shakespeare. Written in blank verse. Well, you know it. It is option B, All for Love or The World Well Lost by Dryden. Well, you know it. This is a 1677 restoration tragedy by Dryden, written in blank verse, and it focuses on the last hours of the lives of the lovers, Antony and Cleopatra. Yeah? Let's move on. Question number 11. Mango Souffle was promoted as the first gay male film from India. It was an adaptation of Mahesh Dattani's play. Your options are A, On a Muggy Night in Mumbai, B, Dance Like a Man, C, Bravely Fought the Queen, or D, Do the Needful. Tell me, which work is Mango Souffle movie based on? You know it. It is option A, On a Muggy Night in Mumbai. Well, this film was premiered in the year 2002. It was written as well as directed by Mr. Mahesh Dattani. An important thing about Dattani, he was the first awardee of Sahitya Academy Award, the first recipient, of the Sahitya Academy Award as the playwright in English, which means the first playwright in English who received the Sahitya Academy Award was Dattani. Easy? Let's move on. Question number 12. Arrange the following Bibles chronologically according to their dates of translation. Listen to the Bible's names. 1, King James Bible. 2, Tyndale Bible. 3, Revised Standard Version. Or 4, Holman Christian Standard Bible. 4 options. Tell me the dates of publication. Arrange them like that. Do you know it? Yeah, I'll make it easy. I've written the years. The answer is B, 2134. So, two Tyndale Bible series of translations came between 1522 to 1536. This makes it the oldest. After this came King James Bible in the year 1611. After that came Revised Standard Version in 1952. And the latest is Holman Christian Standard Bible, in which its New Testament was published in 1999, while the full Bible was published in 2004. Easy? Yes. Let's move on. Question number 13. New Atlantis, a posthumous novel by Sir Francis Bacon, is about a utopian state called option A, Baltia, B, Bensalem, C, Avalon, or D, Asgard. Tell me that utopian island. You know it. It is option B, Bensalem. Well, in this novel, as you know, the crew of an English ship, they discover a mythical land of Bensalem after getting lost in the sea. The inhabitants of this utopian land depict what all, you should know it. They depict generosity, enlightenment, dignity, splendor, piety, and public spirit. So much. And look here at the cover. New Atlantis, a work unfinished. The style of W and U, it is so distinct, right? Let's move on. Question number 14. Who wrote The Life Divine? Your options are A, Sri Aurobindo, B, Rabindranath Tagore, C, Sarojini Naidu, or D, R.K. Narayan. The Life Divine was written by option A, Sri Aurobindo. You can see the book cover. Well, Aurobindo ji, you know, was an Indian nationalist, guru, yogi, and a philosopher. His book, The Life Divine, actually tells us about Eastern philosophy, Western thoughts, and his personal insights. So basically, it's an amalgamation of the divine, a sangam of the divine. Yes? Let's go to question number 15. Which of the following exemplifies the Puritan attack on pure poetry? Your options are A, An Apology for Poetry by Sidney, B, The Art of Fiction by Lodge, C, Four Letters and Certain Sonnets by Gabriel Harvey, or D, The School of Abuse by Stephen Gosson. A puritanical attack on poetry. You know it. It is option D, The School of Abuse, containing a pleasant invective against poets, pipers, players, jesters. A 1578 work by Stephen Gosson. You know, he abused poetry because of the following reasons. What did he say? He said poetry is a waste of time. It is a mother of lies. It is a nurse of abuse. And I'm so glad that Plato has rightly banished all the poets from his ideal world. Why did you hate poetry so much, Mr. Gosson? Let's move on to question number 16. Richardson's Clarissa falls under the category of, your options are A, Bildung's Roman novel, B, realistic novel, C, psychological novel, or D, epistolary novel. There were letters involved in Clarissa. Obviously, the answer is option D, epistolary novel. Well, as you can see the cover, let us read, the cover. Clarissa, or the history of a young lady, corresponding the most important concerns of private life, and particularly showing the distresses that may attend the misconduct both of parents and children in relation to marriage. Abhi jitna bada title, utna lamba novel. This is actually considered one of the longest novels in English. And it tells us about how sometimes your family can become your worst enemy and how you do not compromise on your virtue. Even after losing everything, you do not lose your virtue. That is what Clarissa, this young lady, is all about. Yeah? Chale, question number 17 ki taraf. Shakespeare's sonnets, option pe aa jate hain. A, are dedicated to James I of England. B, are dedicated to Mary Arden. C, are dedicated to an unknown Mr. W.H. Or D, do not carry a dedication. We know they do carry a dedication to an unknown Mr. W.H. बहुत सारे लोग बहुत अलग-अलग चीजें बोलते हैं. Who can be Mr. W.H.? But nobody is sure. If you are sure, please comment. Let's move on. Question number 18. The term new criticism was introduced in which of the following books? Option A, Principles of Literary Criticism. B, The Sacred Wood. C, The Great Tradition. Or D, The New Criticism. You know it. It is option D, The New Criticism, a 1941 book by John Crowe Ransom. These are actually a series of essays, and here is where we heard new criticism. Let's move on. Question number 19. Which of the following poems is not composed by Sarojini Naidu? A, Palanquin Bearers. B, Songs of Radha. C, The Coromandel Fishers. Or D, Indian philosophy. Palanquin Bearers, Songs of Radha, Coromandel Fishers are all by Sarojini Naidu, which means option D, Indian philosophy, is not by her. It is actually by, as you can see, S. Radhakrishnan, right? Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. Let's move on. Question number 20. Longinus defined sublimity as the echo of option A, greatness of spirit. Option B, greatness of mind. Option C, greatness of body. Or option D, greatness of art. You know it. Longinus defined sublimity. He believed that sublimity is the echo of greatness of spirit. And what does spirit mean here? It is the imaginative power of the writer that pervades his or her work. And we are done. Today's session is done. I hope you found it interesting and full of knowledge. Yes, I will be back again tomorrow with more such questions. And if you like this, if you want to have a detailed online course with Kalyani ma'am, you can call us on the number 93878-39871. Okay, for any details. Bye. This is Heena from Team TES. Take care.